All right, looks like everybody's in the room. So, welcome everybody to Service Leaders Network onboarding. I'll give it over to Mark real quick to be able to talk to everybody, and we'll take it from there.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the second annual Service Leaders Network Virtual Service Conference. This is the only virtual service conference of its kind in the industry. We brought together a plethora of manufacturers, trade partners, trade associations, parts distributors, and more. So we appreciate that you've taken the time to come here. Today, Carmine Dionisio, our Educational Development Manager, but we'll be taking you through a program that, again, is another first in the industry called Recruiting, Hiring, Onboarding, and Training. There is no other program that is as comprehensive as this in the industry, including with any of the trade associations. So hope that you enjoy the content that he has worked hard to present to you. And Carmine, back to you.
Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it. It's a great introduction. It's an honor to work with the NMG group to after years of working as with the manufacturer and just different capacities to work with the organizations that actually keep America's heartbeat going and keep driving better their business. So one of the things that we did run into when I first came on board was there was no real set process, and it's not the end all be all process. This is just a written from A to Z, kind of going through the, oh shoot, is what I have to do? Oh yeah. So you just follow along. And the one thing great about this is it's completely customizable to your business. I mean, we even have job descriptions that are pre-written for you to go ahead and utilize. All you have to do is just throw in your company bio and then go ahead and put it out there. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick and kind of take you. I just had a session on how to navigate through through SLN. So does everybody see the Service Leaders Network page? Mark, can you verify that? Because I got some things open here.
Yes, we can
Oh,
see it.
okay. Thank you. So anyway, so let's talk first. Let's just go ahead and talk about how do we get to this screen in case anybody missed it. So when you get on a nationwide membernet.com, you'll see the sign on. If you're not familiarized with this, I would talk to your admin or business owner and try to get you involved in this page here. There's so much information here for you. It's so worth it. You can, if you forgot your user password or you forgot your username, or you just simply need help, you can click there and kind of get you into it. Once you're in there, you're going to log in. This is the main MemberNet landing page. My page is a lot different than everybody else's, where you can get recent communications. You can get this sliding banner here for a section annual virtual service conference. This is just a good way and a good communication tool. The best way that I found to get to the SLN website is to select services and then go down to applying service, and then you hit our landing page. The second best way to go ahead and get to that landing page is to actually drag that and drop it somewhere in your favorites bar, and it'll always be there as a hot link. That's what I basically did. It just makes it easier for me, being that I work in it every day. So with the recruitment and onboarding, I will talk to you real quick about the education and training portion. We have partner and member discounts with Fred's Academy, and they're located in Northeast Ohio. Dyer, who's located in the Dallas area in Texas. Master Samurai Tech is online, and they're out of New Hampshire, I believe. And then we also have TMM is also another training facility that we work with, and they're in down in Florida, Miami Lakes area. And then SSG is another new academy that we brought on, and they're in Atlanta on the north east side of Atlanta. And I just wanted to bring these up to you because when you're in your member net, you're looking to send your technicians somewhere, or you hire a new technician. We have a 17-week training program, and we kind of figured out it's almost about the same cost as what it would take for you to send them the Freds for 3 weeks crash course, and then go ahead and build them through with a Master Samurai Tech in the 17-week course. The good thing about that is they build up into, you build the tech into your culture and what your business is about completely, and we'll go ahead and go over that. So now with the onboarding, what you would do is you're in education and training. You would click on Service Leaders Network, and what you'll see here is a landing page for Service Leaders Network that has everything from business training and software systems to rate negotiations, which are always very popular. And then there's the education and training. We have our we have our virtual service conference down there. We have our primetime Orlando, some of the information that we have there from our primetime event. And then you have the recruiting, onboarding, and training strategy. Once you open this up, this will take you to this landing page here. So let's just talk about this. Each one of these is a hot link to what it's described as. This one here is your appliance service technician job description. Let's go ahead and open this one up. Once again, once you get this and you enable it, we went ahead through our performance groups, went ahead and gathered all sorts of information from everybody, got the best ideas from everybody that we can think of, including our internal HR, and including LinkedIn and some of the other Indeed. So what we did was, I know it looks like a lot of information, but this is basically the beginning of a contract that you are putting in front of your appliance technician and letting him know your expectations, basically outside of an employee handbook. But you're letting him know this is everything that you need to do. This is everything you're going to probably need to do. And then the other thing too is there's you can customize this to the benefits package. So company uniforms are included. You might provide a company vehicle, and then you might want to also talk about your employee handbook. But this is a very detailed job description. Do you need to use this one exactly? No. You can use whatever you feel best. But the one thing that we figured was we'd give you something to pretty much have that's a solid start, and that you can go and you can change a few things around. Even if you're going to do master technician, if you're going to go into like a master technician, there you might even want to say some of the education experience or some of the required skills must be able to pass 50% on a 50% of a particular test. And I'll talk about this test in a minute, because this will tell you where your technician basically is. So now, so you see that we got this job description here, customer service job description, and we also have a service manager job description. One thing about the service manager job description, you can basically critique that to go into parts management. So you can add just, they need to have some parts management background, and you'd have your service manager and your parts manager just by that. So let's go ahead and talk about the process. Now, with the process, this is, like I said, you don't have to follow it, but it's kind of gives you a checklist of things that you can and you should and shouldn't do, especially in the interview process. So, and as a member, I take feedback from you to say, hey, Karma, we did this and this didn't work, or something's not right. You let me know. Just let me know on, you know what, before even go any deeper on the main page. Let me just go here. If you ever want to get a hold of me or Mark, you go ahead and you select that, and then we're right over here. So let me go ahead and show you that again. Hopefully there it goes. SLN overview. This is where you can find me and Mark. You can also find us at Meet the Team. So now that I said that, let me go ahead and get back quickly to where it was. Okay, so recruiting and onboarding process. First, you have to identify the job position that you need. So this is where a cost of doing business sheet is needed. We have a company that we're working with called Service Success Group, and they actually have a cost of doing business calculator that he is talking about now, but he will be in the trade show all 3 days. So I would say, go on over there and talk to Don, tell him I sent you, and see what you can do to understand, to see and identify what you need in your job in your business to go ahead and place a new technician. Of course, too, there's always salary requirements. Salary requirements, you can get all that right on the internet. Basically, Glassdoor is a pretty good one where you can just figure out what your immediate area needs and who they're, because California is going to be different than New York, as they're going to be in Texas and in Louisiana. So this is where this really helps you to kind of figure out what your requirements are. But most of you that own your business already kind of know that what you need. So on the next thing that we did, we went through and say creating a job description. Okay, then we talked about, we already have those, but you can also go to a hot link that says how do you write a job description. There's other things that we kind of connected up with, and eventually we're going to have something that is an NMG exclusive. Is going to be how we communicate with educators, and through the system. I'm going to show you another link. Some of the ways that you can do it obviously are LinkedIn and Indeed. You can also go through and contact your local Skills USA schools that are out there, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But basically, there's so many different ways for you to go ahead and find people to employ, especially the vets. You can go on and Mark, if you can hear me, if you can add to the chat where the military bases are, please. That's the one thing I need to add to this sheet here. But you can contact a military base. Somebody that's leaving the military, they have about a 6-month period that they can actually go work in a civilian job and still get paid by the US government, and also any education that goes along with that job, they will also pay that through their grants. So that's one thing that you can go ahead and look at. As far as recruiting though, it's really difficult to just get out there and find these companies, to find these recruiting websites. But we go with LinkedIn and Indeed. They're a good resource, and the government always is. We're also working with the Department of Labor. We're looking for a national apprenticeship course, but in some of the states, we're actually working with the Department of Labor to build the foundation to create this national level. And I'm going to be in Maryland, hopefully in November, and we're going to go ahead and meet with their local Department of Labor, and also the United States Department of Labor down in DC. They're actually having apprenticeship week, so I'm going to try to meet up with them to see how we can bring and resurrect this need for appliance technicians. And as we go through, any information at all will always be posted on MemberNet. So when you are reviewing applications, we even went through and said about reviewing an application, interview preparedness. This is really good here. The STAR format, I think, is great. It tells you about the behavior of the person in a situation, task, action, and result, how they handle something. And then there's also some other behavioral questions that you can ask. Now, we talked a little bit about tests. See, there's 2 companies that we work with: Master Appliance Repair Tech Quiz, that's Master Samurai, and Fred's Appliance Academy. Basically, those are mechanical aptitude tests that you can utilize to see your candidate saying, I'm a technician. I got some experience. Are they mechanically inclined? Do they know when you turn one wheel one way, that other wheel is going to turn the other way? Well, Fred's and Master Samurai have given us the opportunity to utilize their tests. But when you do have um, that candidate go ahead and sign on to their website, you would have them put your designated email address in, so that the results will come to you with their name. And the other one that we have is, I have another service appliance technician test that's within the recruiting website, and I'm going to review that in a minute. So the online interview, I think the best thing for an interview is talk to your insurance company, make sure that everything is cool with the insurance company, that they're going to be riding with you for a day, and just seeing how they work and how their mannerisms are. That's probably the best way to go ahead and say, let's do an interview. If they're really interested, that should not be an issue whatsoever. We also talk about what questions to avoid, for sure. And these are linked to reputable HR sites. And in all those, our HR department has looked through and they said, these are good sites for you to use. As things change, I didn't want to just put this information in here, because things will change and add. So it just seemed like it's the best thing to do. Background screening is a big one. +1 in Sterling and higher right. Whatever your state allows as far as background screening. I mean, obviously, they're going to be driving a truck. You want to make sure that they have no previous history or problems, like, especially when you hire somebody, they do a test on their check on your driver's license and you find out that they actually had a DUI, and it drives your rates up. So you always want to make sure that you check that. And then from contacting the former employer. Also, how do you create your offer letter, making sure that you have the correct federal forms? How do you write an employee handbook? Like I said, the job description is the first part of that agreement that you have. The handbook kind of keeps it solidified, like this is our rules that we have of our company. So this is real important. Now, the technical training resources. So I did talk to you about Dyer and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this, and I'm going to go over here to Service Leaders Network, go to the bottom, recruitment, onboarding, and training strategy. So two things I said that I would talk about. One is educational facilities. How do I know where there's an educational facility near me where I can pull some talent from there, possibly a VOTEC school? Skills USA has gone ahead and given us a spreadsheet of all these schools. So as you see, once you click on that, it takes you to a Google map. Now that Google map is up here. It can take you over to the appliance academies. So let me go ahead with the appliance academies first. These are the appliance academies that I talked to you about: Fred's, Master Samurai, SSG, Dyer, TMM. TMM was also here at the trade show, so you can go in and talk to them about their training strategy. So this just kind of tells you where some of these schools are located. Now, Skills has, I think it's over 400 locations that we do have in this whole map here. And you can just say, you're in the Austin area and you want to go down and you want to contact these schools here to see if they want to go ahead and come work for you in the area, or if they have any students, call up and talk to the guidance counselor. The other place that you can go is the RCAT schools. These are dedicated residential commercial appliance technology schools. That's what RCAT stands for. And these schools here basically have, and they are training straight appliance technology along with HVAC. So we're looking to go ahead and increase some more in the area, maybe get some in the western region. But these are dedicated schools. There, once again, we are not. These are affiliated with Skills USA. They're an international organization that deals with everything that has to do with any education, as from all the trades and everything. So this is the organization that we chose to connect with. So where is this located at? Once again, oops, and that can happen. So I'm going to go ahead and, sorry about that. So that's located, like I said, down in the Education Training Service Leaders Network, down in the education training right here. It's easy to get back to, even if you get out. That's why I always say, everybody, go ahead and get a hot link, because the hot link's the best way to travel around there. So we talked about the educational facilities, and then I talked to you about the test. So here we have an appliance test. This appliance test isn't a pass or fail. This is more like, this tells you what the technician knows. This is 50 questions, and there's the answer guide. So, you get an applicant, and they can say, here, do me a favor, take this test. Take this test, and then you can see where they're at in their appliance, journey to, are they really a journeyman, or are they just breaking into the appliance industry? So this will give you a really good taste of what they know and don't know. And even if you say, wow, this guy's great, or this person's great, I know I need to work with them in this. This is also great for your current technicians that you feel are struggling, because if you know that they have a problem with HVAC and they kind of think they don't, well, then you can go and you can send them to TMM or Dyer Fred's doesn't have an individual HVAC course yet, but I know that SSG does, and Dyer does, and TMM does. And this is a really good tool to help you, the member, all the way through. So that's a test that we did talk about. Now, what we did do was we went ahead and figured out we have a great partnership with Master Samurai, who's also here at the trade show, and they're actually doing a customer service. They're actually doing a customer service session next, in the trade show. So this generalized training program is something we went through. I went back to my days of starting, working with a company. I went to Mark, went to all the performance groups. So we pretty much made a 17-week course. Now, this could be training, this could be half a day. Maybe they run out and run calls, or you have them put parts on there. But what we did was we broke it out. We broke this out into what they need to do week one. Now, these modules here are with Master Samurai. And what we did do was we went ahead and we put click the link in here for the Master Samurai discount. You don't want to go to Master Samurai if you're an NMG member and not get that discount that we have, that they've been able to give us. But you can run through, and this basically will say what we feel to get them moving along. And then I talked to Master Samurai at the same time, because each week is going to be a little different. And I said, well, how much studying will that be, or in that week's time? So we worked it out. We figured 17-week was really good. And then it kind of goes into reviewing different things that you need to do, like the operational overview of your area. Now, one thing is that we did do was we basically took week one and put it at the very end on week 17, because we start out from the very beginning, the parts, the warranty companies. You figure you got 17 weeks to go through and train this technician. This will be the outline that you would want to follow to go ahead and make sure they know when that 17 weeks are over, they can do a credit card transaction. They can know how to do the check. They know all that stuff. So this is the reason why we set it up this way. And one other thing that you might want to take a look at is the service company solutions has what they call a blue book that we have a member discount with. They have a blue book, which will actually be a flat rate book for you to go ahead and work and be able to create your jobs and your tickets online. So it's something you might want to look at, talk to them. They also have the ability to go ahead and look up parts all over the nation with different distributors. If your distributor doesn't have the part and you want to pop it in the parts search, they'll give you the layout of everything and what it'll cost, and then you go ahead and get that part. You can take care of your customer. So this is our onboarding and training strategy. We'll continually always update it. As you can see, it takes you through refrigeration. I think we had member feedback. We put them in refrigeration the first week, and they said, "What are you, crazy? You don't want to scare them just yet." So I kind of chuckled about that. I said, "Yeah, you're right." So give them some good basics, and then even ending up with the soft skills training and then the recap. Now they do have soft skills training through Master Samurai that you can even put your customer service agents through. That would help even make your business thrive even more with good quality customer service. And it never hurts to run your technicians through this course at all. So, well, I'm about 6 minutes from finishing. So I really just want to let you open it up. I'm going to hold on a second, and I want to go ahead and stop sharing, and then I want to give everybody the ability to go ahead and chat or unmute themselves if they want. See, trying to find that. Thank you, Mark, for watching that. There it is. There we go. Sorry about that. Anybody, if you have a question, I would just say unmute. If you hear somebody else talking, just stop and let them go ahead, so we don't have everybody talking at once. Nothing at all. I covered everything. There's always got to be something. I'm sorry, the sun's in my eyes.
Well, everyone, we hope that you have gained some valuable information through this program that Carmine has put together. We are in continual discussions with the Department of Labor. We're the only appliance organization of any kind that has relationships with the Department of Labor, where we have a comprehensive program. We are the sponsors of the Residential Commercial Appliance Technician Apprenticeship Program with the Department of Labor. There was no apprenticeship program for this position up until just a couple of months ago. So we work with that state by state. So it's a continuous process that we go through with the DOL and as well the Veterans Administration also. So there are some great benefits for you as employers if you get involved in an apprenticeship program. It does open for you opportunities to be eligible for government funding. This is funding that comes from the Department of Labor and is either administered through the DOL directly or through the state employment agencies as well. Those opportunities that you have are employer tax credits, wage compensation, and training funding available. So if you have any questions, and I do see someone does have questions here from Jones Light. So if any one of you have questions, as Carmine showed you our contact information, and Carmine, if you could put that in the chat as well, feel free to reach out to us, send us an email, and let's discuss your needs and the opportunities for you. So with that said, I think we're at the end of that. Carmine's gonna put that information in there. And as soon as he does, then we're gonna end this session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And remember, we have a booth too at the trade show. So you're welcome to come by and talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Goodbye.